Good morning.
Good morning.
A little spirit, would you? Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to the Boise Unitarian Universalist Fellowship. We're a spiritually diverse, justice-seeking religious community, proclaiming the power of love at the core of our living tradition. Love of neighbor, love of ourselves, and love of our planet. Whoever you are, wherever you are, on your spiritual journey, you are welcome here. Whatever faith you have known, if any, you are welcome here. Whomever you love, however you identify, you are welcome here. I'm Rob Ham. And I use the pronouns he and him. And I'm your celebrant this morning. And I will be joined by Sabin, who will be our guest preacher. And it's going to be a great day. Amen. Again, namaste. A little more. Namaste. Special welcome to our newcomers, our online community, and those joining via Zoom. Wave to the camera. Hi, Zoomers. And look around the room and give a wave to someone, to a friend or someone you don't know, and be sure to go introduce yourselves after the service. My God, we're a welcoming bunch, aren't we? And please fill out one of our newcomer forms found in the entryway or in the chat so we can keep you up to date with all that's happening here in the fellowship. A reminder that our inquiry series for newcomers meets this week in the chanting room. That's in the other wing. This is our series that introduces newcomers to Unitarian Universalism and to this fellowship, but anyone is welcome. And this August, we're giving a special welcome to Travis, who shares the pulpit as he shares about a religious experience program. Exploration.
Thank you. All right, can I get a thumbs up? Yeah, I'm going to get a thumbs up. Okay. For my announcement, I have a story. It's a modern parable, if you will. Okay. Once upon a time, in a quiet forest, there stood a tall old tree, strong and wise, with branches that stretched high above the forest floor. Nearby, a young sapling had just begun to grow and was curious about everything. The sapling would ask the old tree endless questions. How do you stay so strong in the wind? What's it like to hold a bird's nest? Do you remember what it felt like to grow your first leaf? At first, the old tree was amused, but over time, it came to cherish these questions. And answering them, it remembered its own beginnings, how it once stretched towards the light, unsure and eager, just like the sapling. And one day, a great wind swept through the forest. The old tree swayed and groaned. It had weathered many storms before, but this one felt different, and its roots were tired. Yeah. The young sapling, though small, leaned in and braced against the wind. It whispered, "I'm here. Lean on me." And the old tree did, just a little. And when the storm passed, the old tree said, "You remind me of what it means to grow. I may have years behind me, but your wonder, your strength, that helps me too." And so they stood together, the young and the old, each giving, each learning. And that, my friends, is what religious exploration is all about. This month is religious exploration month, if you will. It's also volunteer recruitment month. So when adults step into our classrooms, we share stories, our values, our life experiences, but just as often, we walk away challenged by a great question or reminder of the truths we've forgotten. We need more adults of all ages and backgrounds to be those steady trees in our RE forest. You don't need to be a parent, you don't need to be a theologian or a teacher, you just need to show up with curiosity and care. So please consider filling out a volunteer interest form for this month. I have some pamphlets at the front, and we've got And we've got an interest form either on paper or you can do digitally or electronically. Because when our kids hear many voices from the many walks of lives, both worlds grow bigger and their roots grow stronger. Thank you.
Each week, we begin our worship service centering ourselves by lighting the flaming chalice, a symbol of our free faith, a beacon of hope, love, and justice. We light our chalice in solidarity with thousands of other Unitarian Universalists lighting chalices today across the globe, reminding us that we are connected to a great community of faith and love. As we light the chalice here in the sanctuary, I invite those of you in our virtual community to light a chalice or a candle if you have one nearby, and then share it in the chat where you have lit the chalice this morning. I invite you to rise in body and spirit and join together in the singing of our gathering hymn. It's going to be Lean on Me, 1021 in the Teal hymn.
We come from and live on land considered sacred by many indigenous peoples, known as Bannock, Shoshone, Paiute, and many other tribes that lived here sustainably for thousands of years, inhabiting a vast region including much of Idaho.
We recognize the long history of the land, long before colonization, and acknowledge the ancient tribes whose names have been lost in history.
With this acknowledgement, we wish to demonstrate our commitment to dismantling the legacies of settler colonialism. We honor Indigenous peoples' connection to the land and support their right to sovereignty.
In the challenges of these truths, may we move through the world bringing justice in every way that we can, listening to the truths spoken to us by Native American peoples, making space for them to re-inhabit this place, and giving them back the resources they need to heal their communities.
I want to apologize. It didn't occur to me that somebody has to actually lead the hymn. And during the summer, we go to our bench a little bit because the first stringers are all off doing, having lives and stuff. So I apologize for the clumsiness of that. But we're all among friends, right? Very good, very good. Our guest preacher today is Sabin. And today's service explores the sanctity of safe space. As we enter into this time of worship, let us take a moment to breathe together. Fill your body with breath, knowing that our breath connects us to one another, to our bodies, and to our planet. Our breath offers us the opportunity to tune into our spiritual center and listen deeply to our heart's own longing. Thou art the song of my heart in the morning. Thou art the dawn of truth in my soul. Thou art the dew of the roses adorning. Thou art the woven whole. Thine is the grace to be steadfast in danger. Thine is the peace that none can destroy. Thine is the face of the need-riven stranger. Thine are the tears of joy. Thou art the deep to the deep in me calling. Thou art a lamp where my feet shall tread. Thy ways steep past the peril of falling. Thou art my daily bread. Thine be the praise of my spirit uplifted. Thou art the seed to each flowing stream. Thine be the days that are gathered and sifted. Thou art the deathless dream.
Hello. It's a little misleading. It's not actually fall yet, but here we go. Fall is here, hear the yell, back to school, ring the bell, brand new shoes, walk in blues, climb the fence, books and pens. I can tell that we are gonna be friends. Yes, I can tell that we are gonna be friends. Walk with me, Susie Lee, through the park and by the tree. We can rest upon the ground and look at all the bugs we found. Safely walk to school without a sound. Safely walk to school without a sound. Here we are by ourselves. There's dirt on our usual selves. There's dirt on our uniforms from chasing all the ants and worms. We clean up and now it's time to learn. We clean up and now it's time to learn. Numbers, letters, learn to spell, nouns and books and show and tell. Playtime we will throw the ball, then back to class, through the hall. Teacher marks our height against the wall. Teacher marks our height against the wall. We don't notice any time pass, 'cause we don't notice anything. We sit side by side in every class. Teacher thinks that I sound funny, but she likes it when you sing. Tonight I'll dream in my bed while silly thoughts run through my head of the bugs and alphabet. And when I wake tomorrow, I bet you and I will walk together again. 'Cause I can tell that we are gonna be friends. Yes, I can tell that we are gonna be friends. Thank you.
Our call to worship this morning is heed the call. May we heed the call of compassion, to be kind and to offer succor to those in pain, our friendship to those who are isolated, and help to those in need. May we heed the call of gratitude. May we be thankful for all the gifts that we have, food on the table, shelter from the elements, friends, and family. May we heed the call to love the planet, to care for her rivers, lakes, and oceans, to nurture her systems, and respect all sentient beings. May we heed the call of community, to gather in this sacred space, to celebrate and to mourn together, to share fellowship and burdens, to share joys, sorrows, tears, and laughter. Come, let us worship together. The kids are...
We'll have everybody stay.
Okay. We'll have children stay in their seats for the time of all ages.
All right. I'm going to step down here a little bit. So, what I'm actually going to do for Time for All Ages is going to read a book, which some of you may have read before. It's called I Go Quiet. I Go Quiet by David Omet, I believe is how you pronounce his name. And it's a fitting lead-in to what we'll be talking today about trying to find safe spaces. And I apologize, we don't have our, normally we have a big monitor where we could also reflect these images, but we'll do our best. So it says, sometimes I go quiet. When I speak, I'm not understood, so I go quiet. When I walk into a room, I hear whispers. I don't know how I'm supposed to be. I am timid. I am small. How should I sound? How should I look? When it's my turn to speak, I go quiet. Sometimes I feel like a rock in a rattle, yet I make no sound. I am different. I am the note that's not in time. I go mousy, and I go gray. Sometimes I move away from other voices, and I sing silence as loud as I can. I sink into a slow moving fog. I don't always listen because my thoughts wander to other things. I would leave if I could fly. From time to time, I imagine where I'd like to be. Where would I like to go? I shed my black velvet cape and I soar like a shiny raven. The raven, huh? Big black bird. Yeah. Bless you. Sometimes I go quiet when I read. When I read. When I read, I know there are languages that I will speak. When I read, I know there is a world beneath my branches. When I read, I feel that every living thing is a part of me. I think I may be part of everything too. I am not so different, and I am not small. When I am heard, I will build cities with my words. And they will be quiet. Yes, sometimes I go quiet. But someday, I will make a shimmering noise. The end. Okay. You want to take over? Now, for our community blessing, let us all join together in singing our community blessing. The words are printed on the bookmark found in the seat back pockets. And we're going to break for RE. So any children that would like to come along, we're going to meet right here in the middle door. And I know we have a lot of new people today, so parents and adults are, of course, welcome to come over and see what we're going to do today in RE. Thank you.
When we give, we say yes to the natural cycle of abundance in our lives. And we say yes to building beloved communities within and beyond our walls. We commit ourselves to do the work for justice and compassion for all people and our earth. Today, we share those gifts with our play partner, the Reverend Elizabeth Green Booth Pay It Forward Fund. The Reverend Elizabeth Green Pay It Forward Fund was created to address need amongst our own Booth community for short-term emergency financial assistance. PIF is the recipient of the Social Justice Outreach Plate offerings each year and is available to support Booth members and friends through the generosity of those who donate. Over the years, funds have helped numerous members and friends stay in their homes, pay for groceries, utilities, medical expenses, and other needs for living. I invite the ushers to come forward, and our offering will be gratefully received. As the ushers bring forward offering gifts, please join me in the collective blessing of our offering this morning. The words are printed in the bookmark found in the back of your seat pockets. We bless these gifts so freely given. May generosity always be our companions as we walk the holy path towards greater compassion and beauty. Thank you so much. Our reading this morning is Cherish Your Doubts by Robert T. Weston. Cherish your doubts, for doubt is the attendant of truth. Doubt is the key to the door of knowledge. It is the servant of discovery. A belief which may not be questioned binds us to error, for there is incompleteness and imperfection in every belief. Doubt is the touchstone of truth. It's an acid which eats away the false. Let no one fear for the truth, that doubt may consume it, for doubt is testing of belief. The truth stands boldly and unafraid and is not shaken by the testing. For truth, if it be truth, arises from each testing stronger and more secure. Those that would silence doubt are filled with fear. Their houses are built on shifting sands. But those who fear not doubt and know its use are founded on rock. They shall walk in the light of growing knowledge. The work of their hands shall endure. Therefore, let us not fear doubt, but let us rejoice in its help. It is to the wise as a staff to the blind. Doubt is the attendant of truth.
Loosen, loosen, baby. You don't have to carry the weight of the world in your muscles and bones. Let go, let go, let go. Loosen, loosen, baby. You don't have to carry the weight of the world in your muscles and bones. Let go, let go, let go. Holy breath and holy name, will you ease this pain? Holy breath and holy name, will you ease this pain? Loosen, loosen, baby, and you don't have to carry the weight of the world in your muscles and bones. Let go, let go. Loosen, loosen, baby, and you don't have to carry the weight of the world in your muscles and bones. Let go, let go. Loosen, loosen, baby, and you don't have to carry the weight of the world in your muscles and bones. Let go, let go. Loosen, loosen, baby, and you don't have to carry the weight of the world in your muscles and bones. Let go, let go. Loosen, loosen, baby, and you don't have to carry the weight of the world in your muscles and bones. Let go, let go. The weight of the world in your muscles and bones. Let go, let go. The weight of the world in your muscles and bones. Let go, let go. The weight of the world in your muscles and bones. Let go, let go, let go.
Safe space. What is a safe space? For the purposes of what comes next, we'll describe a safe space as generally a place one can go to feel protected, a place to sort through what is troubling us, a place for support when one is uncertain. When we discuss safe spaces, those physical and mental and emotional places where we do feel secure, what typically comes up is love, comfort, familiarity. And you would think we could generate these qualities without help. You would think you could give your family what it needs based simply on relationship. You would think we could act powerfully for the society we believe in through sheer belief. But that isn't how it happens. Why is a safe space important? Why do we need people to have a place where they can go quiet? What was our main character in that story, I Go Quiet, saying? I believe that story tells that there are places in this world that exist where you don't feel you fit. And so you turn away from what seems to be undermining you, what is getting at you, to not look at it for a while, to simply turn off parts of the world while you sort it out. And in that sorting, find your footing. So, just take a look around in your environments. Toddlers are a favorite of mine. They've been known to bury themselves behind their parents while figuring things out. Now, we also know the exceptions. There are some that go careering down the hall, and none of us can catch them in time, but we're not talking about those today. Also, teenagers, there's a stereotype of teenagers and music. They're gone. What are they doing in there while they're listening to the music? Is it escapism? Is it sorting stuff out? Who knows? But they're very emotionally tied to lyrics often. People in general of all ages tend to love a good story. And many follow sports. Indeed, it is actually okay in public to have an argument over whose sports team is better. And that's okay. Are these ways into a safe space, these actions? To protect oneself while checking out the scenes? I don't know. But if you have a chance to talk to anybody about their hobby, their favorite self-expression, safe space plays a part. And you didn't even know you were practicing already. The above examples I would call safe spaces in the shallow end. Our American society considers these acceptable parts of culture. Nobody is really rocking the boat by talking about their sports, watching television, gardening. Here at Booth, that safe space may look like the grace given to a person making an announcement for the first time from the pulpit. The grace given to a first time or not frequently common sermon deliverer. The grace given to a person representing our plate partner, sharing their mission. This one I wrote before the song today. A person fumbles, stumbles, loses their place, either from the pulpit or in general conversation. And actually, I did that myself this past year. I got up here for the offering, and I stood blankly. You all sat there patiently, some smiling encouragingly, for me to catch up with myself. That's grace. This is a safe space. The deep end. What if you are up to standing for great things and need support? What if you are up to supporting the folks going out to stand for great things and need support? As Unitarian Universalists, we are called to service, to service supporting a liberal justice, a peace-seeking resolution to world challenges. And that service is also going to look different to each and every one of us. It may look like raising responsible children. It may look like traveling to the United States-Mexico border and stand for the rights of immigrants. And it may look like something in between, anywhere on a sliding scale. And I put forth, it's probably not just a flat sliding scale, it's probably rays and radiations and convolutions. There's so much out there. And all of these friends, my friends, all of these things are powerful works, from the very small to the very large. We are a diverse community, and we each deserve a safe space. You get that? We deserve it. It's not just a thing. It's a human right, I believe. I researched the definition of safe space, of course, with dictionaries, because my house actually has a physical dictionary, and we use online. We just do it. Anyway, Cambridge Dictionary was online, Wikipedia was online, Merriam-Webster was online. Interestingly, all these have you moving away. Few of the definitions have you moving towards safe space. A place away from harm, a place away from judgment, a place away from threat. I personally had issues with the idea of safe space for the longest time. I interpreted it as stepping away from the issues, like escape, like not dealing with them. And that that just did not sit well. I did not want to escape. I wanted some solutions. Interestingly, though, my ego did not want solutions. So there's this battle going on. Easiest thing to do, not to do it. Okay. So even when I was in a safe space, I didn't see it. I didn't call it what it was. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's just the way it was. It is only recently that I realized safe space has a role in my life as moving towards something, not to escape something. I moved towards Boof when I moved to Boise 18 years ago. You gave me community. I moved towards Boof when I was diagnosed with bipolar 2. You gave me support. I moved towards Boof when I worked through my role in my children's gender explorations journey. You gave me validation. I moved towards Boof when I was our president's spouse. You gave me compassion. All right, so what happens when we shift the language to move to a safe space? A place towards safety, a place towards love, a place towards comfort. This is a church. This is a meeting hall. This is a home. This is any place. It can manifest any place. A place for a trans person to stay their suicidal thought. A place for an introverted adolescent to reboot their social cope. A place for a young parent to reset their patience clock. A place for an asylum seeker to start a new life. What else can you come up with? What for you? What for others? So as my spouse said, that very same past president, when I shared these earlier definitions, I don't go to Boof to hide from the world. I go to Boof to gain strength and succor so I can go back into the world. So what do we do now? Where do we stand in our relationship to safe space? Is there a balm in Gilead that makes the wounded whole? Okay, well, the most painful part of this conversation is that there really is no 100% safe space. Aha, you say. That's why that reading was about doubt. You were wondering, okay, so what does doubt have to do with safe spaces? We know how to love. We know how to comfort. We know how to call on the familiar. Do we? All the time? Reverend Sarah shared these words with me as we discussed the bare bones of this sermon. I am drawn to how urgent the need is for safe space, even as we can never guarantee 100% safety. We can create a space that centers the expectations of welcoming, caring for each other, belonging, diversity, inclusion, etc. To know how does not necessarily lead to being able to do it. A space to learn safe space skills is needed as well. We will have doubt that we can provide. We will have doubts. It's the nature of being human. So I can hear you now. How do we make it an ongoing spiritual practice to hold a safe space while honoring that we will not always hit the mark? Okay. Bottom line, it was like, how do we do that? All right. If you're asking us to be doubtful in space while supporting somebody, how do we do that? How do we provide a safe space if we ourselves are not ready to approach our own doubt about something? In life, inside and outside these walls, when we stop listening to a conversation, either an actual in-the-moment one or an ongoing one exploring ideas, is it because we have hit a wall and are not ready for the next step, whatever it is, or that we believe we lack a skill? What gives us the power to step forward into taking that next step? So I'm going to share with you one of my own walls. There is a Buddhist nun, Pema Chodron. She is the author of many books. She wrote Living Beautifully with Uncertainty and Change, which is my favorite. Which is also quite funny because I've never finished the book. The book has 3 specific commitments, build on each other. And for some reason, when I hit that 3rd commitment, I managed to stop reading the book. I don't know the ending. I go back, I read it regularly, and reckon when I'm ready for the last step, I'll continue reading. As if maybe my mind will be ready at that point. I could go forward. But here are those 3 commitments. Committing to not cause harm. Okay, I was raised to do this. If I do cause harm, I can, even though it can be hard, to ask forgiveness, make reparations. That's ingrained in me. Committing to take care of one another. That too was ingrained in me. Almost sometimes to the cost of not taking care of myself. The last one. Committing to embrace the world just as it is. Ugh. So my point being, if we have doubts about something, how can we embrace it? And actually, writing this sermon, I thought I would give the book another try and see if I have a new relationship to that section. So you probably have your own flags, your own signs you've hit a wall. I ask that you consider those are flags calling you to safe space. A space to cease being the victim of your circumstance. A space, to take care of yourself. So remember, our story tells there are places in this world that exist where you feel you don't fit. There may be a purpose to that. Maybe it's part of evolution. Maybe it's a survival instinct. Maybe we are drawn to safe spaces because that calls and creates our humanity, and by embracing each other, we make ourselves stronger. And you, creating that safe space, yes, you, lowercase u, nothing big. The people sitting in the chairs in front of me, in front of the screens at home, all of you, this is the opportunity to create community. It can be a booth community. It can be a community at work, in your neighborhood, anywhere. Create community. To create what we stand for. And that is why it is okay to have doubts about your qualifications to hold that safe space. Love, comfort, familiarity, compassion for yourself, for others. Maybe, as offered up by Reverend Sarah, that there is no such thing as a safe space. We need new language. Maybe we can heed poet Mickey Scott B. Jones, who wrote a poem, An Invitation to a Brave Space. Maybe, just maybe, we could go about creating a brave space. A place not only for love, comfort, familiarity, and compassion, a place for vulnerability, a place for curiosity on all sides. How do you start? Start with noticing. Notice how you are listening. Notice how you are not listening. Notice how your intent gets railroaded. Observe, oh, there goes my good intentions again, and just wander on back. Don't judge. Remember, embrace the world just as it is. Let go of concerns about filling in what's missing. Whether you are the one arriving to the space or receiving someone into a safe space. Let the doubts you bring on to that space just sit on the surrounding shelves. Give up rightness over and over and over. And when it raises its head again, give it up again. Simply no moving beyond the point will come. Ask yourself, for whom am I, for whom are we a brave space now? So, a tendency, especially in this environment, is to first lift off all the social justice actions we pursue in the lives of those people we have changed. And that's pretty darn powerful that we have the ability to do that coming out of this congregation. But today I want us to be a brave space for each other. We are a contribution to our community. Brave space for ourselves. Brave space for our different generations. Brave spaces for peers of all ages. Can we be brave enough to do this? What will that look like? Who will we be if we start now?
Each week, we take time to acknowledge the many joys among us and to grieve our many sorrows and losses, so that we might lift that burden for each other and receive the blessing of community. It's through our sharing with one another that we forge deep bonds of community and connection. We begin by sharing these joys and sorrows. If you are holding somebody in your heart this morning, I invite you to speak their name aloud into this community of love, that we may hold them with you. May the arms of this community hold all our joys and sorrows, those named and those that remain silent and close to our hearts. Let us together take a deep breath in and out, releasing the sorrows the world knows too well, and finding comfort in our companionship with one another. Recognize that you are part of a whole and holy communion where joy and woe are woven fine.
not for you, babe, I couldn't find the door, couldn't even see the floor. I'd be sad and blue if not for you. If not for you, babe, I'd lie awake all night, waiting for the morning light to shine in through. But it would not be new if not for you. If you have a harmonica, play along. If not for you, my sky would fall, rain would gather too. Without your love, I'd be nowhere at all. I'd be lost if not for you, and you know it's true. If not for you, my sky would fall, rain would gather too. Without your love, I'd be nowhere at all. Oh, what would I do if not for you? If not for you, winter would have no spring, just couldn't hear the robins sing. I wouldn't have a clue, anyway it wouldn't ring true. If not for you, if not for you, if not for you.
Friends, I invite you to place your hands over your hearts for our closing blessing. That very same poem I referenced, An Invitation to a Brave Space by Mickey Scott B. Jones. Together, we will create brave space because there is no such thing as a safe space. We exist in the real world. We all carry scars, and we have all caused wounds. In this space, we seek to turn down the volume of the outside world. We amplify voices that fight to be heard elsewhere. We call each other to move to more truth and love. We have the right to start somewhere and continue to grow. We have the responsibility to examine what we think we know. We will not be perfect. It will not always be what we wish it to be, but it will be our brave space together, and we will work on it side by side. Blessed are we all. Go in peace.